If we turn our backs and spit in his face, is God still gonna bless the USA?
I read about a middle school student who found a wallet in the parking lot. It was stuffed with hundreds of dollars in cash. The boy could have slipped it in his backpack and walked away, but he brought it to the office untouched. When asked why he turned it in, he shrugged and said, because it was the right thing to do, even if no one was watching. Real courage doesn't always shout or stand on a battlefield. Sometimes courage tells the truth when lying or staying silent would be easier. And that's why the story of General Smedley Butler is a story that still matters for America today. Greetings, Patriots. I'm Perry Green, and this is God in America, where faith shaped our freedom, and freedom stands when it is anchored in that faith. A nation without truth cannot remain free, and a people without integrity will eventually lose both. Today, we revisit the story of a Marine who proved that bravery isn't only found in war, it's found in honesty and integrity. Smedley Butler was no stranger to danger. He was a two-time Medal of Honor recipient with decades of military service in the Marine Corps. He was respected by enlisted men and feared by America's enemies. Fearless, direct, and trusted is how his records described him. In 1934, Butler faced a very different battlefield. Two political operatives approached him with a shocking plan to help wealthy industrialists raise a private militia of veterans to pressure or even topple the U.S. government. Butler instantly sensed the rot beneath the surface. He could have ignored it. He could have quietly declined. He could have protected his reputation and retired peacefully. He could have profited from it, but he chose the harder road of whistleblowing when truth was his only armor. He documented names, promises, and numbers. He informed federal authorities, and when Congress called him to testify, he came with dates, details, and the calm certainty of a man who feared God more than men. A clerk said Butler's voice carried the certainty of someone who knew truth was his only protection. Congress confirmed much of his testimony. The plot collapsed. Butler went home without seeking headlines, applause, or reward. He simply told the truth and upheld his oath to the Constitution, and his courage helped preserve the republic he had spent a lifetime defending. The Bible consistently elevates those who speak the truth at high cost. Proverbs 12, verse 22 reads, "The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy." Ephesians 4, verse 25 reads, "Therefore each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor." Then in Psalm 15, verses 1 and 2, "Who may dwell in your holy hill? He who walks uprightly, he who speaks the truth in his heart." The kingdom of God is built on truth, and thriving nations require the same. Truth-telling is a form of courage, and when a society loses courage, it loses its freedom. The story of America is filled with men and women who valued truth more than comfort. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman knows this. Allegedly, a high-profile celebrity offered him a $20 million bribe to vote against an America First bill. He refused. He's in good company. The Pilgrims signed the Mayflower Compact openly before God and one another, not hiding their intentions, but declaring them. Samuel Adams called for transparency and public virtue, warning neither the wisest constitution nor the wisest laws will secure liberty and happiness of a people whose manners are universally corrupt. George Washington insisted that truth will ultimately prevail where there is pains to bring it to light. Truth was not a talking point for them. It was the moral backbone of a free people. Without truth, liberty crumbles. Without virtue, a constitution becomes only a parchment. Early Americans understood a principle America is now in danger of forgetting. Freedom requires integrity. We live in a world where deception is common, corruption thrives in the shadows, treason and cowardice are rewarded, and truth-tellers are often attacked rather than honored. But God still calls his people and this nation to courage of transparent living. Courage is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, like a boy returning a wallet, like a pilgrim signing his name, like Senator Fetterman refusing a bribe, because that is not the way our republic works. And like Smedley Butler sitting before Congress with nothing but truth in his hands. If America is to remain free, we must revive a culture where truth is honored, courage is practiced, and conscience still remains. Thank you for joining me today on God and America. Remember, courage takes many forms, and the courage to tell the truth may be the most important form of all in a free nation. Let's be faithful, vigilant, and bold in standing for what is right, just as those before us have done. Let's keep the light of courage in or out of uniform burning.